Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a weekly overview from Sunday the 14th of February until Saturday the 20th. Because all time is entangled. All time is entangled, intertwined. All time is happening now, even though we only perceive the now and not all of it. So basically this is for whenever you see it, but I'm reading it for February 14th to 20th, 2021. And the energy might pop up again or be relevant to somebody whenever they happen to come upon this video. So we're going to look at this. So Sunday is ruled by the sun, Monday by the moon, Tuesday by Mars, Wednesday by Mercury, Thursday by Jupiter, Friday by Venus, and then Saturday by Saturn. I've laid out the cards here. I usually don't lay out cards on camera for free readings just to save time. So I'm using the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. I'm using the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. I'm using the Elemental Hexagons. I really like these. I just got them. I'm excited. I waited a long time. Oh yeah, so each of these piles is going to have 3 cards, although there's a couple piles where there were doubles, so I guess this one has a double. Okay, so this one, and this one have 4 cards, but whatever. Alright, so we're going to start with Sunday. It just means that there's sun energy, there's Leo energy. Right, so there's this aspect of strength, of fire. So move that over for a second. So what have we got? So we have the moon inverted, which is funny because when I see a moon card inverted, it tells me sun energy. I'm going to sneeze. A little card flipping dust there. So this is like a little bit of, in the book for this, it's sort of like, I want to be a star, I want to be famous. And what I'm getting is like the little kid in The Last Starfighter, the little brother, he's like, you hear that, you slimes? I'm famous. You know, all these cogs here. I also just heard Madonna in the back of my head, Love Makes the World Go Round. It's probably because I was listening to the True Blue album. Which is interesting because I have cups on here. So we do have this love aspect. 8 of Cups inverted is that walking away from what you don't need, or is it holding on to it? I think it's a little bit of an ego thing. It's sort of like, I'm over it. I'm so over that person. And then you find out, you're like, oh, just kidding, I'm not actually over it. I'm deep in that. What's interesting is that the 32 breaks down to 5, and then the 8 and 5 is 13, so there's an internal transformation. There's an illumination of the darkness of a denial. It's like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm fine. I'm so over you. And then it's like, it's sort of an act, right? It's like I'm putting on a play. So we have Turtle inverted. This gives me a little bit of the world energy, which is Saturn energy. I also get the Ninja Turtle Michelangelo because it's orange here. Cowabunga. He's got the nunchucks, which I remember from last time I was trying to think about it. So I'm going to check out the turtle because the turtle's out of balance. What's interesting is that with the turtle downwards, the turtle's going deeper. With the lines here, like the texture of the drawing, it's giving me very much falling down the rabbit hole. I'm all snuffly now, as I sneezed. It reminds me, when I change the segment, I'm going to have to take a sinus tab. So we have argon. It's like, all of my problems are gone. No, just kidding. So we have the light bulb here. I'm getting a little bit of a background of the fight between Edison and Tesla. Because Nikola Tesla came up a couple times for me recently. It's like, if you haven't seen it, check out the Epic Rap Battles of History. Tesla versus Edison. It's like, I don't alternate my flow, I diss you directly. So this even says the world on it, and I said the turtle is like the world. So we have a noble gas here, right? So there's this idea of like fluorescing, of shining, of glowing, right? With this idea of I'm a star, I'm shiny. But it's also like if the energy coming into the light bulb is not aligned, it'll blow the bulb and it'll explode. And if there's way too much, it won't just be the filament, it'll be the entire shell. The entire shell. That was probably out of focus when I held it up. So let me just look at what's... Oh, and I have 18 here, which is the number of the moon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turtle has the number 6 because there's 6 letters. Which is interesting because it's on page 105, which is also a 6, which is a third of that. Let me look at... And if I take the 13 from this card, plus 6 for the turtle, that gives me 20, which is karma, and then the 9 here is to 29, which is an 11 number. This is an aspect of timing. So 105, the turtle. To take a sinus tab before I forget again. We have a water elemental, and usually a water elemental upturned is like, I'm thirsty. And it might not be like, oh, I'm over you, but I'm so thirsty, like a thirst trap. There might be that, you know, like electric spark kind of like, ooh, like who's that piece of meat over there? Which might explain it because there's a little bit of heat there. And I noticed I said love makes the world go around, but there's a song on that album called White Heat, and I don't remember the lyrics, but look at this. It's white and it's going to be hot. But also the idea of heat, like lustiness. Sassy. So turtle, ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the self. But out of balance, slows down to a halt. Turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. So the moon is also water, and the 8 of Cups, which I didn't look up, of course, Saturn in Pisces, so there's water and Capricornian energy. So all of that Saturnian world. It's behind all great writers and storytellers, which is, again, somebody who's like a star, captivating, charismatic. Collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy help us close all the other books and begin to tell our own true tale. So there was an aspect of judgment in here, I think. If I... Did I say 20? I thought I said 20 somewhere, but maybe I'm mistaken. 9, 6, and 13 is 19. It's 10, and 9 is 19 again. So there's sort of a background of judgment, but not really. But there's this idea of getting to the world, which is the end of the journey. But again, I'm getting this idea that Sunday's energy has a lot to do with like trying to outshine each other to see who can be the biggest thirst trap. It's like I'm not falling for you, you're falling for me. What are you talking about? Or it's like, I don't want you anymore, and then you're like sitting in a corner, you know, minding your business, if you know what I mean. Alright, so let's look at Monday. 15th, so we have the moon here. Number 14 is balance, so there is like this aspect of, again, of like there's too much current. Like a little bit too much electricity in the circuits. So 15 is interesting because it comes automatically with Saturnian energy, but let's see what we've got here. So we have nitrogen. I'm getting the hollies, the air that I breathe. All I need is the air that I breathe and to love you. It's the hollies. So we have breath neutrality. It's the element of life. So we have 7 here. So most of the air that we breathe is like 72% nitrogen or something, and there isn't as much oxygen as people think. Otherwise, we would probably our insides would be super rusty. That's not scientifically accurate, but it's like 70-something% nitrogen. And we have the sarcophagus inverted. I'm getting a little bit of like down with the sickness. I got this card inverted last time I got it. It's like death light. Like I'm in a coma. A little bit of like Romeo and Juliet pretending to be dead and then fucking it up kind of energy. 9 of Pentacles inverted is like, I'm getting like, I give up, I've had enough. I don't want to. It's like I feel like a zombie. Like a thriller night. We have the black egg. It's like, take a deep breath. It's like, take a deep breath. We're diving deep. We're gonna jump off the platform. It's giving me this like, I'm getting a scene, the movie The Abyss. Partly because there was so much water in Sunday, but for Monday, the moon, which is also water, I'm getting, look at this, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 8 again here. And then a circle. So it's like infinity in this egg shape instead of being twisted into the number 8. But I see this purple energy too. It's like, although it's more violet, so it's sort of like the crown and the root at the same time. But let me skim the black egg. Of course, with the 8, then it's definitely infinity. This is weird because usually 8 for me means typically strength or justice, but I'm really getting infinity when I look at number 8s lately. Throat chakra, black egg. Speaking from an authentic voice and the truth. It's like that Harry Potter movie where the egg was under the water. Remember how I said this, it was a deep dive? Harbors that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. Drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. I feel like this card is coming right off of this. This is like saucy, excited, and being so interested in something that you just totally spaz out and forget to finish working on your emotional baggage. And then it's like, but the aspect of there was like writing and performing and stuff, and this is a similar thing. It's like there's an expression going on here, but it's like the moon comes in, is like, you need to chill that sun down, you're getting a little crispy over here. Says, if the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things that others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. So this, well, it's sort of like a dual path. You could be a zombie and just repeat everything to make you shinier, or you could be willing to go from this bright white light bulb energy and switch on the black light and see all the crusty stuff that's underneath, right? What happens when you turn on the black light? You get a rainbow of writing all over the wall. So it says, the energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. So it's like plugging it in. Right? You might get a surge from licking a battery, but until you jack into the lithium ion setup, like a panel, you're not going to get a continuous power source. Okay, so let me see if I can get through the Tuesday in the next 4 minutes before I have to go on to another section. Is that... I'm going to shift these down. Mardi. What is Mardi Gras? Is that past already? Is that the first week in February? I do not know. Got a sort of Mardi Gras colors over here. And kind of here, but that's like a lime green and not yellow. Alright, so this we have a double. 16th is February. Mars is in Taurus still, I think. Yeah, it doesn't move into Gemini until March. Okay, so we have Krypton. So we're getting all the noble gases here. And cobalt. I always see Krypton as green, probably because of Superman. So we have 36, which is 4 times 9, and then 27, 3 times 9. So it's interesting, we're having a series of 9s. This, to me, gives me more like... It does actually give me underground, because you think of kobolds digging and mining, which is what this is named after. And in Krypton, we have this island that's supposed to be like a chalk outline of a guy, which is interesting because they had this like Thriller Night energy here. And now it's like we have the zombie, but this is where the body died originally. We have hidden weakness. And again, this is a noble gas. But here we go. This one is related to strength. So you have evil spirit or radiotherapy. So again, there's this idea of you can use this energy to get a huge blast, right? Nuclear radiation will fuck you up. Or you could radiotherapy and, you know, delete your cancer. It depends. But look at this blue color. It's just like, like fucking blue. We're talking about the throat chakra here, and this nitrogen card is very blue, and then we have this deeper, so it's like we're getting deeper into what's affecting the throat chakra, especially with these 9s here. Gives me this idea of like moon energy, but also of like ramping up to break through the like a glass ceiling of some sort. I'm not going to have enough time. I'm going to have to start another segment because I get kind of verbose. Okay, so we got... Well... Inverted, 41. So this is not... This is like an extra card in the expanded version of the deck, so it's not to a particular suit card. It's like more like a major arcana. So I have 4, the Emperor, Martian energy. I have 1, the Magician, which is Mercurial energy, inverted. Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. Mars in Taurus with Uranus, which rules Aquarius. Together I have 5, which is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, right? Mercury retrograde in Taurus, hanging out with Mars. And again, it's this idea of like it's all dried up. Like we've hit the bottom of the well. We've gotten all the way down to the bottom of the rabbit hole. Right? If you're gonna pull anything up, like, now's the time. Right? You're at the end of your scuba rope. I think there's more information for the well, but I don't feel like reading that book right now. I'm going to take what I got in my head. And then we have... Okay, so this was like this, and I kind of flipped it like that. So I have the crow essentially in a challenge position. I think this has to do with telling the future, but I always forget. So look at this little... It's like the black egg is glowing. Right? It's somebody turned it on. Somebody plugged it in. Plug it in, plug it in. So we have the energy of 4 here as well, because there's 4 letters. And I just heard It Can't Rain All the Time from the movie The Crow. In theory, that movie shouldn't be that good. But for some reason, every single time I see it, I want to watch it over again. And I think I've seen it like 6 times. But the first time I watched it like 5 times in a row. So it's, in theory, should not be that good a movie, but it's hard to like not want to watch it over again when it stops. So there's something about that movie. So Crow is an air elemental, so essentially we could say we're dealing with the 4 of Swords, which is that like resting after battle, which would be a little bit like overcoming the zombies kind of energy. Like I finally got a nap and, you know, it's like I ate a Snickers and now I don't feel like an asshole. Okay. So this is spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. Symbol of magic. Drawn to the supernatural, has a gift for seeing the unseen and knowing the unknown. So it's sort of like beyond the truth. So now, look at this. Okay. Holds within its mind's eye the 3 realities, the past, present, and future. And when I started this reading, I was sort of bungling the explanation that those are all things that are happening now, but we only experience the present. Should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. You must balance your lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. So it's this idea of coming out of being out of balance with this, which is ungrounded and hypersensitive. So hypersensitivity would be like, this energy is too much. I'm empathing without grounding and it's making me tired. I'm all dried up. I have nothing left. But it's like I'm getting some cosmic downloads. There's important information here. I need to pull in my energy and get some rest and center myself, 4 of Swords energy, so that not only am I not saying what I think is going to get me attention, I'm into like sort of deep universal truths here, and I need to not waste my energy on flashes in the pan, because it's going to dry up my well entirely and poison me if I'm not careful. Alright. Oh, now the battery's going. Son of a bitch. Push these back here. And you're going to look at 17th, which is Wednesday. Mercurial energy. Tin. So we have Jupiter energy. So we have Preserver. What's this? I'm preserving my energy. You know what? I'm going to put myself in a little shell here. I'm going to get myself in that Altoid can and shut the case so that nobody can take any more of my energy. Right? That's like, you know, just because you brought the mints doesn't mean you have to give one to everybody. If they, you know, some people are just going to have to deal with their own bad breath on their own, which is speaking ill in putting out off energy. So we have 50, we have 5 completions, right? It's like the 5th round, and I finally got this idea that I need to keep some of my energy spinning for myself in my own core. So we have this idea of structure, right? I'm adding structure to my life by creating my own force field, basically, so that I'm not overextending, like flash burning myself out, and I'm not, you know, letting some opossum in the back door to eat all the donuts. So we have 0 as the Fool energy, and then 5 as the Hierophant energy, which would be Taurus. So again, this idea of Uranus and Taurus energy that's happening right now. And where is that related to? Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. And Jupiter also in Aquarius right now. Right? The collective consciousness is shifting to this, you know, I am knowing when I am sharing and when I've done enough, and I am keeping myself to myself. It's not a selfishness, it's I'm maintaining the batteries. Anchor 35, 9 of Swords. So again, it's like I need to throw down my anchor to stop this nightmare. Again, this energy of 8, sort of an infinite, like I'm putting my foot down for my emotional well-being. We have Lizard. So I think this is about energy as well. 6. This is a fire elemental, which is interesting because we have Jupiter here as well. So Lizard. Look at all this, a bunch of different chakra energies coming in with this guy. Lizard. I am the Lizard King. I can do anything. Mr. Mojo Rising. Which is probably exactly what that card is talking about. Right, I'm maintaining my energy. Instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, and dreamer. Notice that 9 of Swords is half moon, although it's a nightmare card. It's like a half nightmare. 9 of Swords energy. Gimme. Ow. Mars in Gemini. Interesting. Mercurial energy. So Lizard. Expert in the realm of sensory perception. 6th sense. There's 6 letters. Here's what is yet to be spoken, sees what is yet to manifest. Although it's an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down, right? You gotta save some of that core for yourself. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magic. And it was on that very sentence that the camera stopped because the battery died. Pull back from the bright lights. Hello. A little bit of Matchbox 20 there. In the big city and return to the inner artist. So we have artistic, telepathic, and spiritual. So there's this idea of performance, again, artistic, creative, and then this idea of when I pull enough energy back for myself, I actually get this like epic wisdom from the universe. Like I realized I'm sort of magical. Look at this. This is like viewing things from inside the egg. This is this texture that's even on the back of the card. Is that showing up? There we go. Texture. So the lizard is inside the egg. I was having a hard time because it has the word drain and lizard in the same sentence, and I'm immature that way. We also have Bill the Lizard from Alice in Wonderland. So like when Alice got too big, he couldn't deal with it and ended up scrambling away because she scared him. If I remember correctly, I haven't read that story in a while. But again, it's this idea of, you know, you can... When I did my Gabriel reading, I got this... It's the phrase, it's better to burn out than to fade away. Not as an advice, but as just in a concept. And this is like burning... What's that? I'm getting that song from the 70s, like I'm burning out, burning on, burning out, burning for you. I don't remember who sings that off the top of my head. I don't know if it's like Boston or one of those other friggin' bands. But again, there's this idea of protecting your energy and tapping into some deep cosmic truths. Alright, so we're looking at the 18th. So we have the number of the moon. We have Jupiter energy for the second day in a row because of that card. We have a duet here. I don't know why I'm saying it that way, but it's a duet. The Normand. So you have the book inverted and the scythe. I mean, this is like I'm cutting out all this crap information that's been handed down for decades. Right? What am I cutting? I'm getting rid of what's inside this text. It's like I'm going to write my own book. And I have the Jack and the 10 of Pentacles juxtaposed with each other here. And what's left is a single pentacle. I see 10, I see 10, I see 11, and then I have 26 breaking down to 8, which is that infinity again. It, like, the situation is tense. So you have Camel, Moon energy, again with the moon. But look at this, I have a fire elemental which matches Jupiter. So it's very much like on the day. And the energy of the number 5. So we have germanium, which I don't know that much about, but look at this, 32 breaking down to 5. Disagreement and Neptunian energy. So I see the 2 here, I see the 2 here. The 2 for me is High Priestess, although she's always number 2, but for me the High Priestess is Neptunian energy, but she's typically the moon, and we see the moon here as well. So you have semi-metallic, and we have this idea of germanium. Now, I don't know that much about it, but it says disagreement, right? Like, I think everything, like, I think this story that I've been getting from somewhere is bullshit, and I'm cutting it out. Like, cut it out. Like a camel hawking a loogie, like in the Aladdin video game there. It doesn't matter which version because I played the emulator online a little bit, and I also beat the SNES and the Sega version, so whichever. But yeah, the camels spit in the Aladdin game. The Disney Aladdin side-scroller 32-bit game. Camel. Just heard like camel time, like instead of hammer time. It's too legit. Okay. This one says resourceful, independent, and knows oneself, right? I'm standing my ground and saying that this is crap and I'm getting rid of it. Even the scythe here looks like the moon. Sickle. Camel can handle anything, carries a wealth of nourishment within. Self-reliant, handles challenges. Even in the face of excess heat, which is judgment or anger. So this electricity, it might be sexy, but it could also be like a little bit of persecution, which might be why your energy's being sucked. All right, so there's this idea of looking inside for water, which we see with some of this other stuff going on as well. Sort of an emotional element going on, literally. So it's a balance as well, fire and water. Notice the camel has 5 and what is balance 14, but 1 and 4 together making 5. Traveler. So it's like I'm no longer feeling, it's like I'm starting to come out of feeling drained and dehydrated and burnt out. This to me, again, I don't really know that much about germanium, but the imagery here is like starting to negotiate this chess game of what you believe and what you repeat and where and when your energy gets used, right? There's a strategy to deal with things that have been pushed into the subconscious as this is what it is, right? Like, this is how it's been. And you're like, wait a minute. No, it isn't. I don't have to believe that just because it's been ground into me. All right, so we're going to look at the 19th Vendredi. So we have the number of the sun, but we're dealing with Venus energy. So where's Venus in... She's in Aquarius during the week that this reading is for. Along with everybody and their fucking mom. Alright, so we have Platinum, Ta, Opener of Ways. I've gotten him recently in one of my card of the days, and I don't know if it's one that's... Well, it'll be posted by the time this comes up, so I don't remember which one it is. Because I recorded a bunch of them at once. We have 78 breaking down to 15, which is Capricornian energy. The Opener of Ways, and he's got Tungsten, the ability to hold an edge. This idea that he's going snowboarding, right? He sharpened his snowboard, he's got wax on it, and he's ready to tackle that mountain. Okay, so I turned this like this. So it wasn't actually inverted. So this idea of this masculine energy like tumbling a little bit, right? It's like I caught an edge and I just totally ate shit, man. 28, Ace of Cups. So I'm going to put this in a challenge position. Mars energy. So we already seen Aquarian energy, and Mars is hanging out in Taurus, Venus, one of Venus's signs, with Aquarius. And then we have Lamb, which I also turned the wrong way. So this also in a challenge position. Number 4 with Earth energy. So we have potentially 4 of Pentacles. Like, what am I not letting go of? Also, this gives me this sort of like vortex, and it looks like one of those God's Eye craft things with the yarn and the popsicle sticks. I always kind of forget what Lamb does, so... Besides taste good on the barbecue. Lamb fat is just nasty, though. It's like really gross rubber. Like those, like, rubber eraser things for sanding belts that are real gummy. That's what that... Ugh. Gross. Lamb. Shall we? So we have peaceful, prophetic, and patient, although when out of balance, there's this idea of timidity and concern. It's doing me a concern. This is like... I get this idea that we're getting a callback to this too bright, too burnout. It's like, now that I'm talking what's bullshit and what's not, I need to have some discernment about how sharp I'm gonna be. Like, how sharp is my scythe gonna be? I'm gonna make it out of tungsten carbide, and it's gonna be like cut through your, like, it'd be like one of those Ginsu knives that cuts through the tomatoes and the watermelons and the steel pipes and the hammer and all that shit. Okay, so the lamb is about honest guidance from an old friend or stranger or whoever. Lamb's message may channel through another person and the wisdom resonates with you. It will repeat and reverberate until you listen. Okay, so it says truth is a gift. So now there's this idea of, you know, when you cut out the bullshit and you're sort of carving your path down this like new territory. Ace of Cups is like what's true in your emotions, like what resonates with you. And this is sort of like, now that you've got this like razor sharp discernment, you still have to be emotionally open and not ready to go to war with people, right? Mars energy is, it can be fighting, aggression, war, but it can also be debate, discussion, diplomacy. God damn it, I can never remember that word. It's like diplomacy, discussion, observation, surveillance and things like that. So it's like I'm in the challenge position because I'm a little bit on edge, but I'm opening up, opener of ways, right? I'm opening up to other people enough to, peek out the window and be like, well, I might not let you in, but I'm going to open the window and listen to what you have to say just in case it's something I need. All right, a little bit of illumination. All right, and then on Saturday, so we have 20, which is the energy of judgment, which comes with fire energy, and Pluto, which is in Cha-Ching, Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, even though Saturn is in Aquarius for this reading. All right, so let's see what's... Yeah. Swan. Inverted, though, but it's mirrored. I don't think I must have gotten this card at least once, but I never, basically never get this card. So here we have some, yellow and green energy, but here, in the invert, we don't have the yellow, we have more of a purple. Interesting. Let's see where that goes. In the matching tarot deck, the swans are cups energy. It's a little bit like Tunnel of Love, but I'm by myself. I have a water element inverted. It's telling me air element. Sort of crawling on the ceiling. So we have the tower. In the Lenormand, the tower has to do with bureaucracy. Six of Cups is that nostalgic feeling. We have the sun in Scorpio. When I see water inverted, sometimes means we need to go deeper. Scorpionic energy, Six of Cups, often tells me the same thing, but this card isn't inverted. 19 can relate to sun energy, which is 10. But let me see. What? I might need. Zinc. Okay, so we have a masculine energy here. It's a torso of some kind. Okay, so this is the Emperor. The physical body. Okay. Wow. Okay, so, we started out with some graphic sexual energy, and now we're getting graphic sexual energy again, right? We have a nude male, we have his tower with scorpionic energy, the genitals, and then we have an inverted swan here with a very phallic neck. But the swan typically is the masculine and the feminine halves of the brain. I'm getting a little bit of I can't get you off of my mind, right? In the air, I'm thinking, I can't get you out of my head. But also this, it gives me a little bit the patriarchy, right? The golden days of the patriarchy. It's tits up. So let me look at the swan here. Swan. Schwanny Schwan. 113. Okay, so inverted, it says agitated, snippy, and lacking vision. That sounds like the patriarchy to me. So it represents heightened creativity, which has already been present in this reading. Swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflective. Again, repeat information. When the Swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard. An inner vision is likely to be revealed. I feel like I'm not quite getting this one. I know I need another Lenormand card for this. If I'm shaking the table, it's because I got my arm shins on the table. Getting a counter for the tower. Okay. So we have time. Now, ideally, I would like to say that the patriarchy is running out of time. But that doesn't necessarily mean... Potassium, soundness. Again, the physical body. 19. What does that mean? 37, 5, and 30. Oh, for fuck's sake. What do I need? What do I need? The King of Cups. This time. Pink Floyd. Brain damage. The dark side of the moon. Okay, so we have 2 bodies. Oh, okay. All right. There's a limited time left when feminine energy is excluded from the patriarchy, right? Because there's 2 bodies. And the swan is the masculine and the feminine, especially in duplicate like that. The sun is usually... The 6 of Cups is usually the 2 little kids, the boy and the girl, and the boy's giving the girl flowers. 10, 10, 10, 30, 4, 7. It's like the body where the feminine should be is a horse. Like, I've been riding her in order to create this edifice. I'm going to get one more card to clarify this. I mean, it's coming in with judgment as well. Right? Patience, because like all the crap, again, this fluttery, gossipy, social media bullshit, right? And then this idea of coming out of this convoluted mess. And again, 43, masculine and feminine energy. Six of Wands, wanting victory while holding the thumb down on the scale to a burden to the other side. Well, let's see. I don't like that I'm having a hard time with this day. I feel like the message is wrong. Iodine, medical profession, health. 53. Strength, justice, the Hierophant. I don't like this at all. Order and chaos, coincidence, the wheel. Mercury retrograde. It's a lot about coming out of physical and mental sickness that has a lot to do with being separate from both the feminine and or masculine energies and the higher self. So it's sort of like there's an illness in the bureaucracy, but nobody is taking care of that in terms of balance in the energies until there's something wrong in the physical body. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Sort of a huge stage whisper about the pandemic in that one. If you want to get a personal reading, let me get this moved over here. Couldn't see where the time was on there for a second. If you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up. I don't know if that's entirely in focus. There. Yep. Yep. I probably just made it a lot worse. I should have just left it alone. Okay. You can email me, thecatcameback@camp@gmail.com. I have merch and prints and actual art items and Cafe Press, DeviantArt, Etsy. I've got a couple of playing card decks over on Make Playing Cards, but they've got boxes on them, so it's sort of expensive for one-off. Right now, I'm going to try to deal with that eventually. And then I've got coloring books over here. Everything's through the link tree, so check out the link tree. The list of readings and how much they cost is going to be in the description box underneath this video, along with the link there. If you want to help donate to this channel, keep it running, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Again, those are all through the link tree. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.